That was weak. Okay, due to the very disappointing boom that this thing makes, so this looks really big and whatnot. Look at how fat that is, about a 1/2 inch in diameter, right? Yeah. Look inside of it, it basically has a ladyfinger in it. Pieces of junk. But that was the most powerful firework that Sky King had. Really ridiculous. So I got this box of 100 pieces of this from Phantom, and their boom isn't very all that great either. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting them all open and pouring the flash powder out into a piece of paper. I've got this thick cardboard tube that I will cut to length later. I'm going to seal up the ends using hot glue and some cardboard pieces. And then I'm going to put a hole in the center of it. And I have a length of safety fuse that I'll cut a nice section off. Put that in the side of this. Fill it up with all this flash powder and see if we can make a boom big enough to do what we got to do. So this has been an in the making video to be seen later after the video. Okay, this is the pile of flash powder I got out of basically 99 firecrackers. So what I did is I took the end cap from one of these, stuffed it in the hole. You can see it's got a tiny hole in it on the right hand side there. I'm going to use that to put the fuse in. That is probably about almost 3/4 of an inch deep into the tube. And I'm going to fill the end of that with hot glue. Then I'm going to pour all that powder into the other end of the tube. Take the other end butt cap, wherever it's buried in this pile here. Somewhere. There it is, the other butt cap. And I'm going to stuff it on top of that in the end of this tube. Use this stick to kind of compress it all, and then fill the other end up with hot glue. It's going to be a process because the hot glue has to cool down and everything like that, but I'll get back with you once I've done all that. Okay, here is our Big Bang maker. I left about 16 inches of fuse on there, so I have plenty of time to light and run. It's probably 1/3 full of flash powder. I don't know how many grams because I don't have a scale, but sealed off both ends with hot glue. With the fuse in there, the fuse is probably about that deep from the other end, and the flash powder probably ends somewhere in there also. Put the butt cap down in there, filled it with glue. Now we're gonna let it harden, and we have one shot. Either this is gonna work or it's not. So that's where we're at. So anyway, so we made this bomb to blow up the camper in the Copper Canyon video segment. I believe episode 12 is going to be the bombing of the camper. And we also have to fire the cannon. And in order to do that, we had to get some FFFG black powder to make this thing fire. And also, I originally thought that this was a fireable cannon because it's got this little tiny hole back here for a fuse, and then it had the hole in the front, but this hole in the front only went about this deep. So I ended up having to drill this thing completely out till shavings were coming out of the hole down there. So I stood it up on end on a piece of wood like that, and I drilled it out using a drill bit that was the exact diameter of the existing hole. Drilled that out, and then now we get to take some of these fuses here and stick them down in this hole here, stuff some of this black powder in there with some wadding and other things, and then light that fuse, and it'll make this cannon go boom. So that's going to be the Rogue Military Group firing the cannon to blow up Klaus's camper, and this is going to be the pyrotechnique to blow up the camper. Because these little things, I'll show you in a segment of the video when I post this, they barely made it look like Klaus farted in the camper. So they weren't going to do the trick. Those there are a joke. They got like a lady finger inside of them. I was like completely disappointed when I saw that. And look at this. This tiny little firecracker come out of the inside of those things. How ridiculous. Anyway, we hope this all works out and we get the effect we're looking for, and we can finally say we finished episode 12 of Copper Canyon. So I'll post this afterwards so that y'all can see the making of episode 12. Just a side note, all the little wicks from the tiny firecrackers fit perfectly inside the cannon. So I pulled them all out. So I have lots of wicks to make cannon go boom. Alright folks, this is Billy Jean from TGIRC. We're out here doing a segment in the making of episode 12 of Copper Canyon. Today we are going to attempt to blow up the camper because the Rogue Military Group is on fire and they are out of control. Here's kind of a in the making of. Alright folks, here we go. This is a one-shot deal. If this doesn't work, I gotta find other options. Setting fire on 1, 2, 3.